Ladies and gentlemen, please stand and place your right hand over your heart for the singing of our national anthem.
Grande FC Toros versus Austin Bold FC. All right, we'll go talk.
Like family does. Because some things are beyond translation. But we know the language the valley talks. Like how you know the feeling after a long drive and the palm trees in the distance welcome you back? I knew you would come again. A home unlike any other, where a family of 4 counties are united as one by the Grande River. A single line on the map separating Mexico from Texas, where the valley remains separated unto itself. Because we've always been between the lines, neither here nor there, ni de aquí ni de allá. A people in the borderland who live without borders to each other. A people of bridges in a land marked by walls. A soil where battles were fought and history made. Where the sun sets on swinging orchards growing world-class citrus. Where our people are like palm trees, beautiful and everywhere, marking our landscape and sky. What is of the valley has never been truly native, and yet it belongs to us as ours. Our Spanish is not spoken in Mexico, our English is not Texan nor American. But what Spanish was invented to describe the wild tones of our family, because we are mixed, as is our food, our cultures, our politics, our people, and we know the language el valley talks. The taste of a tasco on a humid day, the ocean salt in the air, the mesquite burning in the neighborhood, the dance of the piñatas and pachamas, all seem to say, if the valley could ever be translated, que no hay familia con pueblo esclavo.
And good evening and welcome to Edinburgh. We're at the southern tip of Texas to bring you exciting USL Championship soccer. Tonight's game will feature division rivals riding unbeaten streaks, the Rio Grande Valley Toros and Austin Bold. I'm Mark May with Brian Smith coming to you from beautiful HEB Park here on ESPN Plus, and it's good to have you with us. Brian, who are our players to watch here tonight?
Players to watch presented by Puma. Beginning with visiting Austin Bold, it's going to be that man, Elliot Paneco. The keeper has been nothing short of spectacular for the Bold here in the early going. He's got 6 clean sheets to his record. That's tied for the USL lead. And he'll look to have another strong performance here as he looks to keep the Bold undefeated against the RGV Toros. On the other side for the Toros, maybe no hotter player in the USL right now than Juan Carlos Azocar. He's got points in each of the Toros' last 3 matches, goals in each of the last 2. He has been spectacular. So as his engine goes, so goes that Toros offense so far this season. Let's also take a look at your keys to the game presented by Amax Auto Insurance. Let's look at starting lineups first. Starting lineups for this one, beginning with the visiting Austin Bold. In goal, Paneco, we talked about him already. And then 4 defensemen in Akugo, Garcia, Taylor, and Hines. The 3 midfielders, Baez, Doof, and Torres. And then they're going with 3 forwards in this one, ramping up some of that offense in Gordon, Pinho, and Akoli. Now for host, RGV. It's a lineup we've come to see quite a bit of the last few matches. In goal, Tyler Derrick. He started every match thus far for the Toros. Then they'll go with 3 defensemen, Manley, Pimentel, and Albuquerque. 4 midfielders, Sorto, Juan David Cabezas, Lopez, and Adrian Vera. 3 forwards in this one as well for the Toros in Kuzain, Azocar, and Vicente Sanchez. Now we'll look at those keys to the game presented by Amax Auto Insurance. And for the Bold, it's going to be about crisp passing. This is an Austin Bold team that's not scoring a lot of goals, but they don't have to because they don't concede very many goals. But where they can excel is getting some nice, crisp passes to the box and allow those forwards to do what they do best, and that's put some shots on goal. And then for the Toros, it's finding those strong counters. The Toros have been at their best over the last 3 to 4 matches by being strong on their counterattack, allowing their defense to break up what's coming and then send it back the other direction smoothly and allow that offense to build. Look no further than the Toros' last home match against the El Paso Locomotive. Azocar just was taken to the ground, used that strong counter to get back to his feet and drive, and that gave the Toros the goal they need to pick up a victory.
Yeah, set up Rodrigo Lopez, who has a couple of goals in his last 3 games as well. So looks like a good matchup. The Austin Bold have 4 points from 2 games against Rio Grande Valley this year. We'll see if they can add to that or if the Toros will put the stop on them. Let's take a break. We'll be back with the kickoff in just a moment. You're watching the USL Championship on ESPN+.
DHR Health is now safer than ever and continues to remain focused on one thing: providing exceptional care to our patients and community. No other hospital is trying harder to keep you safe. We're taking every action to ensure your safety with enhanced precautions, including 3 off-site COVID-19 units. Your health should never wait. Don't delay your health care. There is no reason to. Schedule your appointment today. DHR Health. For you, for life.
Why choose Lone Star National Bank for your business? Because no other bank does more to support local businesses. In fact, we are the #1 lender in the Valley to small businesses. We put money to work here in our community.
That helps our local businesses grow,
creating more jobs
and more opportunities for all of us.
Working together.
We do what the little banks can't and the big banks won't. Lone Star National Bank, the Valley's bank.
Today at Whataburger, we're cooking the Buffalo Ranch chicken strip sandwich. We got 3 chicken strips topped with Whataburger's own buffalo sauce, a little bit of buttermilk ranch, 2 slices of Monterey Jack cheese. The combination is just right.
It's crunchy and then it's spicy and then it's cool. Your mouth is exploding with flavor.
It just all works together, and then you add the cheese in there.
It kind of wakes me up, honestly.
My goodness.
I could see myself getting this every time I come here.
They're gonna go crazy for this thing. The Buffalo Ranch chicken strip sandwich. It's back, and it's only for a limited time.
And welcome back to HEB Park in Edinburgh, Texas. We're about 300 miles due south of Austin, just about 10 miles north of the border with Mexico. And Brian, what does our injury report tell us?
Quick look at the players that will be out in this one. Austin Bold have their entire roster available for the Toros. Elvis Amo, Artur Lopez are both out, and then questionable will be Adrian Diaz-Pay for this matchup.
We'll keep an eye out for Diaz-Pay if maybe he'll come in as a sub up later on. They're just about to start. Austin Bold on your right. They're wearing black with gold numerals. And the Rio Grande Valley Toros on your left wearing the white jerseys with the orange numerals. And we are underway here at HEB Park. And Austin kicking it off here. Last time these two teams met back in June at HEB Park, it was in Austin pulling out a 2-1 victory in dramatic fashion. Fabian Garcia, one of their defenders, had a free kick from about 25 yards out on pretty much the last kick of the match, 96th minute. It proved to be the game winner. These two teams met at Bold Stadium in Austin earlier this month, about 2 weeks ago, and that was a 1-1 game. And we'll see what we get here tonight. In fact, Austin has dominated the series between these two teams. They are 5-1-1 lifetime,
including wins in 3 of the 4 times they've made a trip down here to Edinburgh.
Yeah, and that's pretty impressive. As in soccer, usually you're happy with a draw on the road, but Austin, yeah, victories in 3 of 4 here at HEB. We have a corner kick early on here for Austin. In outswinger, kicked out by the Toros defense. It was Adrian Vetta who got a piece of it, got it out of the box. Keeper Paneco way out of his box to play that one. I guess when you have 6 clean sheets, you play with a lot of confidence, don't you?
I would. He's been nothing short of spectacular. And it's not just because of his growth as a player in college. He was a spectacular keeper in college. Had more than 30 clean sheets in his college career.
Yeah, 35 shutouts at UNC Charlotte.
He's just spectacular. And he's one of those keepers as well that I think has the confidence to play out because he's extremely athletic, and you see it there. He has the ability to close with speed. He has the ability really to just kind of break the play down before it gets to him. And that allows him to play out a little bit because he knows he can get back and he can get into position if that counter happens to develop into something scary.
Toros with control right now. Now, last time we saw Austin play, they were a team that did not mind giving up possession, did they? And they're still pretty much, they've even up a little bit, but they're still pretty much that kind of mindset, aren't they?
Yeah, they're a team that's going to take advantage of any opportunity you give to them. So they're not playing possession soccer. They're not going to pass it back and forth. They're not going to look for lanes. They are going to drive and press and force and make you be the one to make the mistake and make the bad decision that leads to a goal by them.
Yeah, even last time what they played here in June, the Toros took the lead in about the 21st minute. Alexis Cerrito scoring. And Austin did not panic. They came out of their shell a little bit as they had to, being down a goal, but they were able to come back with 2 goals in the second half to pull out a 2-1 win. And that would have been the last time they played in Austin a couple weeks ago. It was a 1-1 tie.
And I think that really plays to their strength. This is an Austin Bold team that's just filled with a lot of really good athletes. I mean, you've got athletes on your team. You're not afraid to really apply pressure and to run and to get out in the open field and make things happen because you would rather allow your team to play one-on-one against your opponent than to force them to fit into a scheme where they're perhaps not showing their best skills.
Doof plays it back for Jermaine Taylor on the defensive line. And the Bold will pass it all the way over to the right. Where Ogugo sends it up to the midfield, but then the Toros regain control here. 4th minute of action. Both teams still feeling each other out at this point. No shots as yet. Toros have done a really good job of holding teams down as far as giving up shots on goal most of this season. Of course, Toros with control right now. We saw Asokar passed it forward, and then Kuzain draws a whistle. This is going to be a free kick for the Toros in a promising position.
A couple of quick conversations to be had out there on the pitch. It looks like they're going to talk to Hines briefly about how he kind of undercuts the legs of Kuzain as he's trying to send that one back. And that's the advantage of the Toros. One of the things Coach Cabrera has brought into this team is patience. Patience on offense, patience on defense, knowing the system you're in and sticking with the system, not allowing yourself to get outstretched. And because of that, you'll pick up flags like that because you'll have opponents that, using their aggression, try to get in there and mix in with the play but you're staying in system and you force them to make bad moves.
There's Vicente Sanchez lining up like he's going to take this free kick here, making just his third start of the season, but his second against Austin goes inside, and it's headed out of play. And this is going to be a corner kick here for the Toros. So take another look at it.
It's a really good drive by Sanchez. He puts that in a good spot, and it looks like Carter Manley kind of got the worst of that one as Paneco came out and collides with Manley, kind of spins him around right there in the top of the box. That was a really good drive, though, by Vicente Sanchez. Placed that in a really good spot. Plenty of white kits standing around, ready to put a head on that. Get another look at that angle right here. Just really good placement. Nice job of kind of rising up there by the Austin Bolt. I think that was number 25?
15.
15.
Okugo.
Okugo does
the fielder who got the header.
He got his head up there and knocked it out of the way.
And Manley still down. Manley, 25 years old, out of Elkridge, Maryland, defender. And Manley making his 10th start here in this 14th game of the season. Coach Cabrera looking concerned from the touchline. Manley's given this team a lot of speed from his, usually plays right or left back. Gives him a lot of speed on the wings, being looked at now by the team trainer.
He's got a lot of experience, just 25 years old, but he's played at a pretty elite level here for the Toros this season, and he fits really nicely into what Coach Cabrera has tried to bring in his second stint with the Toros, and that is players that are experienced and players that can play a number of positions so that he can kind of mix and match with that lineup and bring the best players forward.
There's another look at that play. Sanchez's free kick. Put it right on at the 6-yard box. You can see Manley there. Oh, yeah, did collide with the keeper. Looks like hit his head against the shoulder of Paneco. And explains why he's shaken up now. So a really good angle there. Of course, Manley in his second season with the Toros, played with them last year, started 11 of 16 games a year ago. So quite an experienced player.
Looks like they are going to send him off for just a moment.
Yeah, it's early enough in the game. I think Cabrera will play with 10 for the moment. He'd like to keep Manley in there longer if he's able to continue.
It's like he's stretching out that shoulder.
And at the other end of the field, a corner kick attempt. Sanchez is over there. Here comes an in-swinger from Lopez, a header, and it's a goal! A goal for the Toros early on by Juan David Cabezas, and the Toros lead early, 1-0.
I don't know that Rodrigo Lopez could have placed that much better. That was on a swinging rope. Juan David Cabezas says, I'll take that. Beautiful angle right off the crown of his head. And that's where you want to take a header from. If you try to take it off the side, you try to take it kind of off the corner of your head, it's very likely to kind of fly errantly. He does a nice job using that crown of his head and driving that ball directly into the corner of the net.
That's the first goal of the season for Cabezas. We take another look at here. Great in-swinger by Lopez.
Cabezas, just perfect job. Sets his feet, uses the crown of his head. Look at that drive. That was in the back of the net before Paneco even saw it coming.
Yeah, really accelerated the ball off the side of his head. Paneco, you can see, is upset with himself. Probably figures he wished he had better positioning on that one and gives up the goal here early. And Paneco comes in with a goal against average of just 0.4, far less than half a goal a game. He doesn't usually give one up, but he gave one up against here at HEB Park last month when they first met. And gives up one here early tonight.
And we're seeing an interesting look at the offense here for the Toros. Very early in the season, this was a Toros team that just didn't score in the first half, but they came on in waves in the second half. But as the season's ticked on and you started to see that offense gel a little bit, they're scoring in the first half and scoring quite early, in this case striking in the 9th minute.
Here's a center ball and a header that's over the bar. Austin Bold very nearly countering right there. Wide open underneath was Diouf, the midfielder from Senegal. was able to get the hitter, went just over the bar. I think it was was centered by Okoli. And Austin Bold very nearly equalizing this game. But I was going to say just before that you were talking about how the Toros have scored early last week. They scored in the 2nd minute at Orange County. Take an early lead there, eventually won that one 2-0.
The United Soccer League, all 31 championship clubs and its players stand together in support of diversity, inclusivity, equality, and compassion. For more information on the USL's commitment to change through the United Against Racism campaign, visit uslsoccer.com.
Got a free kick here, awarded to Austin Bold. This is going to be Juan Pablo Toros, who scored last week against Real Monarchs, taking the corner. This is headed out by the Toros. Looks like last touch by the Toros will be a throw-in for Austin Bold here. Austin Bold came in 4th in the Mountain Division. Both these teams in the same division. And Rio Grande Valley came in tied for 1st with El Paso, but on the tiebreaker, El Paso would technically be the first place team right now. Both of them playing well. Austin, 2 wins, no losses, 2 draws in their last 4. And the Toros have come in with 2 wins and a draw in their last 3.
Well, standings should undergo a certain level of shakeup here this evening, as you know that the Toros are playing against Austin Bold tonight. Later this evening, El Paso will face off against New Mexico United. So the top 4 teams in the Mountain Division all in action this evening against each other.
Topsy-turvy in those standings in the mountain. Attempted drive there by Duke, passes it off. That's Toros. Kind of miskicked that one. It goes out of play for a goal kick.
It was interesting. It looked like Toros' cleat got caught on the grass or something. He just kind of got more turf than he did ball. So he tries to drive it here and just, he's under the ball rather than being able to drive it off the end of that toe.
Tyler Derrick. Now we talked about Paneco and his heroics, but Derrick has had a pretty good season too, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's got 4 clean sheets so far this season. He's been really good for the Toros in net. Again, these are 2 of the better defensive teams you're going to see in the USL squaring off here. The Toros, a little more aggressive offensively. They've got quite a few more goals, but as far as goals conceded is concerned, these 2 teams are running pretty neck and neck toward the bottom in goals allowed among USL opponents.
Yeah, Toros with the goal here earlier by Cabezas now have 20 goals in 14 matches this season. And of course, most of the way to go here in the 14th match.
Compared to just 12 scored thus far by the Austin Bold.
Yeah, Austin's season high is only 2 goals this season. So they're not exactly a team that will, has given up a lot. Used to the 1-0 wins, 2-1. Toros controlling right now. The aptly named Cabezas with the header put the Toros in front in the 9th minute for his first goal of the season. Manley, who was shaken up earlier, seems okay now, playing on the right position. Quick passing by the Toros. Lopez is going to send this one down the right side, trying to get it to Manley, but it goes off a defender. And now a throw in here for the Toros. Manley receives it back. Sends it ahead for Kuzain, but it was taken away by Toros. And Austin Bold has possession now. Trying to kick it out of there. That was Taylor at his first attempt, blocked in front, and Taylor finally clears it for the Bold. Nice tackle there by the veteran Eric Pimentel for the Toros. Pimentel, 31 years old. Played most of his career in the Mexican League, won 2 league titles with Club America. Bold having ascended back here. This is Taylor, who's out of Jamaica, 36 years old. Sends it forward. Quite a few players from Austin have a Jamaican connection, don't they?
Yeah, they've got a kind of a hot streak going into Jamaica. They've been able to pull, I think the roster shows 5 players from Jamaica So if you're looking for someone that can give you a connection to some of that top-level Jamaican talent, take yourself over to Austin. They've done a spectacular job.
That's Manley going one-on-one against Hines. Manley winning that battle. The Toros sent it up into the midfield. Upended there was Kuzane. Kuzane has a couple goals this year for the Toros. And Bold with possession now.
Looked like for a moment there the Toros thought they were going to get a whistle. Especially Carter Manley. He's a little slow to kind of attack against that ball because I think he thought they were going to get a whistle and be able to reset. Give some credit to the Bold for playing through that. No whistle was called and they continued to push and they were able to take that possession.
Big kick there by Okugo. The right side of the penalty area for the Toros, with the Toros gaining possession there. We see the goal scorer, Cabezas, sending it forward. Now we've got a free kick one here, and Kuzane's already been upended about 3 times, but that's the first time he's drawn a whistle. We see Taylor, the culprit there, 5'10", 194 pounds. Big physical player, 36 years old, as we said, starting tonight.
That's one thing you'll notice about this Austin Bold club as a whole, is they're built with a whole string of really solid defenders. These are not guys that are going to get pushed around quite lightly. As you mentioned, Juan Kuzane has found himself on the losing end of a couple of those skirmishes there at midfield. These Austin Bold players, they are solid, not afraid to use their bodies to get possession of a ball.
Kuzane, not a big guy either, weighs less than 160 pounds. Deep shot to the right side, but too far for Omar Gordon, another one of the Jamaican players. And you'll see Austin do that a lot, don't you? Because I think something you noticed looking at the stats before we went on the air is that this team doesn't have a lot of assists.
They don't. In fact, they've only got 3 assists so far this season on their 12 goals. So they're a team that is not afraid to just go kind of one-on-one and use that sheer athletic talent they have to find goals. They're a team that is a really good passing team, passing above 80% on the season for their passes, but it seems like when they find themselves in a position when they can really drive toward the net, they'd rather do that one-on-one than try to build something in system.
18th minute now, 1-0 the score, 9th minute goal by Cabezas for the Toros, and they are in front. Came off a corner kick from Lopez. And Lopez has had a hot hand lately too, hasn't he, scoring-wise?
He scored each of the last 2 performances thus far for the Toros, and he's been just nothing short of a revelation for them. A midfielder who, coming into the season, we thought, well, he's just going to be a really good lockdown midfielder, be a really good individual to come in and kind of distribute the ball, but he's shown the ability to play forward. He'll move out. He's not afraid to strike when the opportunity presents itself.
And there see the ball into the box, dangerous position, a shot. Derek forced to die for it. I think it went off the post, or Derek may have saved it. And it looks like they're going to award a corner kick here to Austin Bold.
The second trip over to the true fit corner for the Bold. Another look right here. That's just a really nice job. He centers it by Gordon, tries to send it back. Tyler Derrick, like a top-level Panther, was just waiting for that. He pounces.
That was Gordon who was able to turn it on net. It was sent into the area by Doof. So a corner kick, this will be the 3rd of the game already for Austin. Kick is an in-swinger, far post, and goes out of play. And it'll be a goal kick here for the Toros. The player had trying to get a header on it was Okoli. You'll see him come crashing in here to the far post.
That's a really good job attacking by Okoli. I think he thought he was going to get a little more of a challenge from Veta there, but Veta kind of steps to the side and allows Okoli to come flying forward, and because of that, he's just not in a position to put a good head on that. But you got to love the aggressiveness. Anytime you're willing to attack the net, good things will happen.
Okoli, in fact, one of the goal scorers when these two teams met for the first time this season back in June here at HEB Park. He had the goal that tied the game at 1-1 before Fabian Garcia had the game winner with a 2-1 edge. Toros with some room here on the left side. It's got Cabezas with it. Now to Lopez. And Lopez, as we mentioned, either has a goal or an assist in 3 of the last 4 games. Ball played forward by Albuquerque. Playing there at the right back spot. And Lopez forced to send it back to his keeper, Derek. And Albuquerque, since he was signed by this team just a few games ago, has started every game. This is his 6th consecutive start since he signed with the Toros back in June.
It seems like Coach Cabrera has really kind of settled into a lineup he's comfortable with the exception of seeing Vicente Sanchez get the start today. As a general rule, Sanchez is one of the guys that he is willing to bring in after about 70 minutes. But this is the second time he's gotten the start against Austin Bold. So that clearly shows to be kind of an adjustment that Coach Cabrera wants to make with this Toros team and use that talent and the experience of Vicente Sanchez. But outside of that, this roster has really started to kind of level off over the last few games. He's got a real comfortable lineup he's wanting to start with, and they're starting to fit into the system really well.
You know, I like how both teams started 3 forwards here tonight. It's kind of a sign that both of them are willing to kind of open it up a little bit. We are seeing a lot of movement back and forth between the boxes. Here's a nice turn there and a shot saved by Derek. That was a good shot by Okole. He was able to turn nothing into something, but Derek was ready once again.
And take a look right here. Albuquerque really trying to mix it up there with Okole and probably did just enough to cut Okole's angle off. But all he had was that far corner of the box, and Derek able to close down that lane quickly.
Now here the Toros on the attack, sending this one forward. It was behind Osokar. Now another chance here. Here's Sanchez with it. Sanchez dispossessed by Toros. Now Toros with it. Being harassed by Christian Sorto. Able to get it to Javier Baez. Now Baez, number 8 there for Austin Bold, has a local connection.
Yeah, a little bit of homecoming for him. He is from Reynosa, Mexico. That is just across the border from McAllen, where we're currently sitting right now. So, what, about 15, 20 miles from home right now?
Yeah, I'd say about 15 miles. Pretty close. Free kick here, won by the Bold. It's going to be the second whistle on the Toros here is on Vicente Sanchez. 41 years old. Oldest man in USL history to score a goal in a USL game. That was earlier this season. It was a game winner against San Diego.
Coach Cabrera has done nothing but rave about what it meant to bring a player of his caliber to this Toros team. And initially when he was bringing Vicente Sanchez on, he was coming out of retirement. He thought, well, he could be a good kind of assistant coach on the pitch for us, the guy that could give us some really good experience minutes late. And interestingly enough, Vicente Sanchez has become kind of the beating heart of this Toros team in the second half. The fans get excited, his teammates get excited. He is a favorite.
There's Paneco coming out of his box to clear this one. Sanchez playing in his 13th game and making just his 3rd start. And like we pointed out, his 2nd against Austin. So I think Coach Cabrera may have seen a matchup he kind of liked. Sokar fighting for the ball. Austin wins it. This is Juan Pablo Torres. Scored the only goal against Real Monarchs in Austin Bold's last game. That was last Saturday, a 1-0 victory. That was Torres' first goal of the season. A nifty little move there, trying to shake off Kuzain. Gets it back to Taylor. Now Baez. Baez, who's had a long career in the Mexican League, played over 200 games with Chivas. Sends it over to Taylor. Now it's back to Baez at midfield. They'll try the right side. Fabian Garcia, France, sends it in, and a free kick won here for the Austin Bold. A nice job there by Okole to draw the whistle against Pimentel.
He hit Pimentel just right on his hip. It looked like Pimentel may have had That forearm a little bit low on the back, applying some pressure. Okoli finds his way to the turf to draw that whistle.
Doof sends it a little too far forward, so Derek will come over to collect this one. Derek, 32 years old, out of Houston. Spent some time with Houston Dynamo in the past. And like we said, tied for 4th in the league in shutouts with 4 tonight.
The USL is committed to supporting the LGBTQ+ community through the Forever Proud project. The USL will strive to create safe and welcoming environments for all fans, players, employees, and partners. Learn more at uslsoccer.com/forever-proud.
Hines with it on the left side. And he'll give it up to Toros, and it works it all the way back for Austin Bold. Austin, a little bit of a slow start to their season this year. But like we said, unbeaten in their last 4. They've picked up 8 points over the last 4 matches. They're right in the thick of things. A free kick going to be won here by the Toros. Might have been on Okoli, 28 years old, out of Washington. Okoli leads the team with 3 goals, but he also leads the team with bookings as well. So.
And by far the more aggressive player
yes.
on this Austin Bold side. He's not afraid to mix it up. We've seen it in this one already. He's done a really nice job of attacking the box, attacking on headers.
This is Pimentel standing over the ball. Let me take a look.
Okoli picks up the card there. Pimentel steps into his lane and just kind of sets his feet there as if he's kind of an offensive lineman setting a block there, and Okoli just tries to bowl right through it. So they'll have a quick conversation with the official, likely telling both of them, okay, cool it.
Yeah, you could tell Pimentel was anticipating what was going to happen before he made his move. Here's Manley about to throw it in. Right side of the box for the Bold. Manley pops it up trying to get it to Lopez, but it's cleared out by the Bold defense. It's Hines who got a big kick on it. And Pimentel forced to play it back to Derek. Yeah, last time in the 2 games that Derek has played against Austin Bold this season, he's given up 3 goals, made 2 saves in those 2 games played. So Austin Bold really didn't generate a lot of shots at the net, but they were high percentage shots that were able to turn into goals. Now here's a corner kick surrendered by the Toros. Not sure if Albuquerque meant to do that. May have thought somebody was behind him and just elected to send the ball into safety, but concedes the 4th corner here of the evening. This will be Toros to take it. Toros has played for in the MLS with New York City FC. Sends this an outswinger, and it's going to be headed out. I think it went off the head of Okugo, the midfielder from Sacramento, California.
I'll give Tyler Derrick a chance to stretch that hip a little with a goal kick coming here. I've been really impressed with what we've seen from the Toros defensively here in the first half. Really nice job of marking those scores. Okoli specifically, he hasn't been able to find his way to the ball without at least 2 white kits kind of standing around him ready to cut his angles off.
Yeah, he's definitely somebody you can't give a shot. Here's a center ball inside, a shot, and it's deflected by Derek. Goes out for a corner, but a terrific save by Derek, who quickly closed the angle and was able to stop the shot from Stefano Pino.
That was probably one of the best opportunities you're going to see for the Austin Bold. Take a look right here. Doof does a really nice job of placing this. And then Baez comes off of that one quick touch by Pino. And Tyler Derrick, right place, right time, right stretch. He's able to push that one wide. But Javier Baez got what's arguably going to be probably one of the best looks he sees all season right there.
Yeah, point-blank shot, and Derek raced out to close that angle. You see the corner kick went to the near post, smothered out by the Toros, and they're on the breakout here. Racing down is Cousin, the speedster from Illinois, trying to get it to Sorto, but Doof is there to send it into the out-of-bounds area.
This is going to be a really deep throw in for the Toros. Give a lot of credit to Juan Cousin there. The Wonder Kid does a spectacular job of taking that pass from Sanchez and driving it into a good spot, forcing the Bold to push that one out.
They're trying to set it into Asokar, but Taylor got a piece of it, and now it's sent clear by the Bold. And Austin Bold already with a couple of shots on goal early in this game. Talked about how the Toros usually don't surrender many shots at Derek, but Austin has been able to produce them here so far this evening, only 30 minutes in. Sanchez trying to work his way around Hines. He'll lose possession. It'll be a throw into the Bold.
Vicente Sanchez was really looking for a whistle there, kind of throws his hands up. It looked like his defender had a fistful of his jersey in his hand. Sanchez tried to round that corner.
Manley chasing after this one. Will send it in. Toros have 3 in the box. It's headed out by the defense. Toros still with possession. Play it back to Pimentel. There's Albuquerque. Out of Lopez, who will find Manley. They'll go back to Albuquerque. Albuquerque out of Chicago, 27 years old. Now Juan David Cabezas has some space to work with. They'll get it to Manley. Manley will put it into the box again. A couple of players there, but it's headed out. Okugo got his head on that one. Here's Cabezas going to the left side. Toros really putting on the offensive pressure right now. The Bold unyielding. Lopez with plenty of space to work with. Pimentel will send it down the line. Back to Pimentel, looking into the box area. He's going to keep it short, exchanging passes with Cabezas and Cousin. And now they'll play it back.
I like what we're seeing from the Toros here as well. They're not afraid to flip the field, going back and forth, side to side. There have been times where this Toros offense this season has looked kind of singularly focused. They'll go on one side for the attack, and that's all they're going to give you. Very different story here today.
Garcia with a terrific tackle there to win the ball from Vera. And then Paneco sends it clear. This will be a throw in for the Toros.
To that point, you saw it there on that last attack by the Toros. They went all the way to that far sideline, reversed field, came to this near sideline, sent something into the middle, and then sent something deep, really forcing the Bold to stretch out on defense and give them some lanes to look at.
Sorto had a one-touch, a little bit of miscommunication there, and the Bold able to clear at the length of the field. Back to Derek. Derek's been busy in net tonight. Already made a couple of tough saves. There was a third one that appeared to go off the post. Tomar Gordon there. 29-year-old forward. There's Okoli with it. 2 markers on him. And the ball will go out. It'll be Toro's ball. Okoli doesn't like that. Toros have to throw in.
And Gordon puts his hands up. How did that not go off of them? Toros gained the benefit of that call. Take another look.
You can get a technical for that in the NBA.
We'll have a quick conversation with him. Gordon's trying to make the argument that it's going to be really difficult for Okoli to have bent that around 2 defenders and somehow push that out himself. It had to deflect off somebody. You can see it there on his face. Referee says, that's enough of that.
The ball in play now. Toros kick it up high in the air. Controlled by Sorto. And Sorto will send it up high, but the Bold defense is there. Now Sanchez with control. Little touch pass to Asokar. His goals in those last 2 games. Oh, nice defending there by Hines. Kicks that away from Kuzain. We see the Bold coach, Coach Marcelo Serrano there in his 3rd year. Only coach in Bold history. Now 2 players go down in a collision. There's going to be a booking here. It looks like Juan Pablo Toros has been cautioned.
And he got completely wrapped up there with Vicente Sanchez. Unfortunately for him, Sanchez was ahead of him. Take a look right here. Sanchez with first possession. Torres has got 2 hands on his hips, and as their feet tangle up, he just kind of rides Sanchez into the ground. That's going to get you a card just about every time. Now the Toros are in a really good spot here. They'll be able to put a couple of attackers on that far side, and you can give it to the foot of Rodrigo Lopez, who has just been spectacular on free kicks this season.
Lopez send this in. Keeper comes out. It's headed by the defense, though. Ball still loose. Torres playing it. Looking for some help. We'll send it back to his keeper, who will clear it. A little bit of miscommunication there as the keeper for the Bold coming out, and one of the defenders electing to play the ball.
The Bold were really fortunate that bounced the way it did, because with Paneco having come out so far, had that reached the head of a Toro, there wasn't going to be anybody in the way to try to defend a rebound.
Toros all scored their earlier goal off a set piece this evening. The corner kick from Lopez to Cabezas. And now a good play there by Lopez to kick that away. Gordon chasing after it. Goes out of play. It'll be a throw-in for Austin. Last touch by Vera for the Toros. Into Garcia. Garcia, who's most recently played for a team in League 2 in France. Helped them gain promotion to the top flight before coming to the United States. Torres with it now. Torres out of Georgia. Garcia will send a diagonal pass all the way to the far side. Hines will send it into open space there for Doof. Doof trying to center the ball. And nice defending there by Cabezas to block the center attempt and then gain control. Torres able to turn around, has plenty of space to work with in the last 10 minutes of the first half. Gordon trying to get the turn. Picked away from him by Kuzain, but Gordon recovers. Now to the left to Hines, who's open. Oh, nice job there. That was Asokar. Picked it away from Hines. And Hines is down.
Yeah, it looked like their shins might have kind of banged together, and if you've ever taken a full swing kick and ended up catching something with your shin, it doesn't tickle. Hines is going to need just a moment.
Second player we've seen shaken up in this first half. It was Carter Manley for the Toros early on. Now Nicholas Hines, defender for Austin Bold. Hines is 23 years old, out of Plantation, Florida. Went to Akron University up in Ohio, won 2 conference titles up there for the Zips.
Going for the W, the USL recently announced the formation of the USLW League, providing increased equity and opportunity for women looking to pursue careers in soccer both on and off the pitch. Comprised of clubs across the championship, League 1, League 2, and new expansion markets, the W League is set to begin play in 2022 in more than 30 communities across the United States. Head over to uslwleague.com to learn more.
See all the players taking advantage of the stoppage to get rehydrated. Pretty hot here in the Rio Grande Valley this evening. It's last few days, it's been 95 to 100 degrees. And even though the sun has gone down, that may have been reason they had an 8 o'clock kickoff tonight to give a chance to a little bit later, a little bit cooler, but still pretty hot out there. See some of the raucous fans, the drum corps for the Toros in what they call the Zona Naranja, which is behind the north goal. They always get excited whenever the Toros score a goal, especially if it's on that end of the field.
If there's any doubt about how hard these players are sweating, look at Albuquerque right there, Rodrigo Lopez, who was also in that shot. Those white jerseys are soaked through. The heat and humidity will really get these players' internal core temperatures up.
You know, both the Toros and the Bold are relatively new in the USL. Toros in their 6th year, Bold in their 3rd year. Both made the playoffs in their 1st year out the gate, and both missing the postseason a year ago, looking to bounce back this year. Both having successful years so far. It's Azocar pretzeling the defense there as he weaves his way through traffic, has it picked away from him, and Austin taking over.
It's a really nice dribble by Azocar, able to kind of weave his way through a couple of defenders, bring it back in toward the midfield. It's the kind of driving we've come to expect from Azocar. Really good job of continuing to apply the pressure and use his skill to dribble that ball through contact and through pressure.
A nice little chip there by Doof. Send that forward into the right corner. And it's going to go out and it'll be last touched by Pino, who's out of Rio, Brazil. Played last year in Saudi Arabia. We were talking about the heat here tonight. I'm sure if you can play in the Saudi Arabian heat, you can pretty much play anywhere. Goal kick here for the Toros. Last 5 minutes and change here in the first half. Toros up 1-0 off a Cabezas header. Here's Vicente Sanchez out of Montevideo, Uruguay. Couldn't quite bring that one down.
Flag goes up. He was well offside. I don't think he expected that pass to come to him quite so quickly, as he was 5 or 6 steps beyond the back line. Quick restart coming now for the Austin Bold.
Both teams using a 3-man back line here tonight. Worked well for the most part for both teams. This is Garcia here. And now finds the veteran Baez. So back to Garcia. Bold being very patient here. Toros with it. Toros really hasn't been able to find the opportunities I think he's wanted here tonight. Going to send this one deep to the right. And it's going to be too far for the midfielder, Okugo. Okugo out of Sacramento, California, 30 years old.
Both teams have had some really good looks here in the first half. The Toros the only ones that have been able to capitalize with that Cabezas goal. And I think if you're Coach Serrano in the Bold, as we approach halftime, you're pretty happy with the opportunities you've had. You're just looking to put one of those in the back of the net now. It's one thing to create opportunities. It's a whole other thing to finish them.
Yeah, that's been maybe the one area of weakness for Austin this year is just the finishing. They've been able to create chances all season, and certainly their defense is top-notch. But in scoring has been their albatross. There's Taylor on the left side. Taylor, who originally played for the Houston Dynamo, drafted by them in 2011. Sends it down deep. And Toros regain possession. As Hines with it. Now Gordon. And Gordon will help reverse it. So he's going to try the right side. See how much stoppage time they will add. I would imagine about 4 minutes or more. A couple of injury stoppages. Toros really packing that their half of the field right now. Don't want to give up any kind of scoring chance here late, and it is going to be 4 minutes added. Nice little touch to Toros. Tries to play it forward for Duke. Duke trying to get the turn and forced to play it back. Austin Bold not done. Gordon with a nice little move is taken off the ball by Lopez. And a good job by him. Then also got it into the middle to Kuzain. And now it's a 4-on-5 break here for the Toros. Left side, this is Sanchez into the area, push it ahead to Sorto. Trying to send it to the middle, and Fabian Garcia was there to smother that one, and then Paneco able to pick it up. That was good anticipation there by Garcia, the defender.
Spectacular job of getting to his spot and just sitting. It's like he could read Sorto's mind in that moment, because Sorto was not in a position where he was going to be able to probably put a shot on goal. So he was looking to find somebody crossing back in toward the middle. Garcia does a nice job of just sitting there and getting right in the middle of that passing lane, preventing Sorto from finding one of his teammates.
Toros kind of putting on pressure right now, trying to generate a turnover. A little too aggressive there. It's a free kick one, but quickly stolen by Lopez. Now to Sanchez in the middle. Push ahead to Lopez, one-on-one, a tip, and it's going to go out of play. I think that may have gone off the defender, Taylor. And it'll be a corner kick here, late first half for the Toros.
Big small from Rodrigo Lopez. He's the one that got that steal that led to this shot. And just a nice job defensively there for the Bold. Jermaine Taylor comes in, uses every ounce of that 5'10", 194-pound frame to go right at the legs of Lopez so that he can't drive that ball toward Paneco.
And Lopez will take the corner. He assisted on the earlier goal off a corner back in the 9th minute. Cabezas was able to head in. Now on this side, it'll likely be an outswinger as Lopez kicks with the right foot.
One thing to watch here for the Toros, they have been known to play soft off of some of these corners.
He'll send this one in. Takes a bounce, goes all the way through. Sorto tried to turn that one toward the net. Blocked by Doof. Still 2 minutes to go here in stoppage time. And Toros will reset up. This is Albuquerque. And Vetta will play it back to Derek. Couple of Mountain Division rivals going at it head-to-head here this evening. Their third meeting of the season. Toros trying to win for just the second time in 8 matches against the Austin Bold. Cabezas with it. He'll find Lopez. He's a good playmaker. He's going to send it to Manley and then run forward. But they're unable to get it back to him as he was Lopez was marked. And it goes all the way back to Pimentel. About 1 more minute here in stoppage. Lopez will play it back. You hear the steady drum beat coming from that Zona Naranja, which is behind the Toros at the moment. Kind of the heartbeat of the team. Lopez, a nice move there on Gordon. He's going to fire to the left side. Toros running out of time here, maybe 30 seconds left. They want to try to get another attack going. Cabezas is now going to push it forward. Toros got a piece of that one, and then it works its way back to Paneco. Pugo with it. We'll play it back to his keeper. Cabezas getting another piece of that one. This might be the last chance for the Toros here in the first half as Sorto sends it into the middle, and there's the whistle, and we are at halftime. So after 1 half of action, it is the Rio Grande Valley Toros in front off a Cabezas header early on, and they lead it 1-0 at the break. We'll go and take a break. We'll be back with see what's going on around in the USL. Also has some first half highlights and first half stats for you. All that coming up here during halftime. We're at the break here at HEB Park, and you're watching USL Championship Soccer on ESPN+.
When we said Reliant offers free flex days, we had something a little different in mind. Get the flexibility of free electricity on your 2 highest use days every week with the Reliant Truly Free Flex Days plan. That's up to 8 free days a month. So go on, what are you waiting for? We'll even upgrade your plan to solar. On us. Reliant. That's power. Your way.
DHR Health is now safer than ever and continues to remain focused on one thing: providing exceptional care to our patients and community. No other hospital is trying harder to keep you safe. We're taking every action to ensure your safety with enhanced precautions, including 3 off-site COVID-19 units. Your health should never wait. Don't delay your health care. There is no reason to. Schedule your appointment today. DHR Health. For you, for life.
Why choose Lone Star National Bank for your business? Because no other bank does more to support local businesses. In fact, we are the #1 lender in the Valley to small businesses. We put money to work here in our community.
That helps our local businesses grow.
Creating more jobs.
And more opportunities for all of us.
Working together.
Together.
We do what the little banks can't and the big banks won't. Lone Star National Bank, the Valley's bank.
And we're back here at HEB Park. Time to start our halftime.
Special appreciation to our halftime sponsor, Live Oak Texas Vodka, the official vodka sponsor of the RGV Toros. 9 games in action across the USL this evening. Earlier today, Hartford defeated Miami 2-0. Birmingham downed Indiana 2-1. Tampa Bay defeats Loudoun 3-1. In the second half, Memphis is up on Tulsa 1-0. Oklahoma City and Sporting Kansas City 2 are knotted at 0-0. You know what's going on right now between the Toros and the Austin Bold. Also, just underway, New Mexico is tied with El Paso at 0-0. 2 games left to play, Orange County and Sacramento, and then later this evening, San Diego Loyal and the Phoenix Rising will go to work across USL action.
I am a first-generation student here at Bellevue University. I feel like if I were to have gone to a different university, my experience would have been a lot more stressful and overwhelming, because I feel like I wouldn't have gotten that personal experience that Bellevue University has to offer.
The 18, DeMarcus Sargent goes to his left, hard strike, and it's in the net, 2-1 Oakland.
Split another massive stop. Shoots, deflected, and a big save from Rawls. As Asante takes this on. Oh, that's a tremendous goal from Solo.
And welcome back, and time now for our Team of the Week.
A couple of strong names standing out here. Player of the week is Solomon Asante. Had a huge week for Phoenix Rising. Voted player of the week after scoring a goal and 3 assists in his side's 5-0 victory against LA Galaxy 2 at Wild Horse Pass there on Saturday night. Juan Carlos Azocar made it as a midfielder for the Toros on the Team of the Week. And there's the rest of your Week 13 Team of the Week presented by Clear Audio.
Now let's take a look at our schedule, starting with Austin Bold. What do they have upcoming?
So they're going to be on the road for their next 2. Once they finish, they're going to be home for the next 2. Once they finish here against the Toros, they'll go home July 31st against San Antonio FC, another Mountain Division rival. Then they'll take on Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC. Then they'll hit the road for one for team currently sitting in the top of the Mountain Division, El Paso Locomotive. And they'll return home for the next 2 against Miami FC and the RGV Toros.
Yeah, that'll be the fourth and final meeting between these two. So 4 of their next 5 within the division. Let's take a look at the Toros schedule.
The Toros have a pretty dominant set in front of them as well, as they're going to go on the road for the next 2, the 31st against Phoenix Rising FC, and then on August 4th at Real Monarchs. Then they'll come home August 8th. They've got San Antonio FC right here from HEB Park. They'll follow that up with a match on August 14th. It's Colorado Springs Switchbacks, and then hit the road for a match against the Austin Bold, that final one there on August 17th.
Yeah, that'll be at Bold Stadium, and some tough teams there. Phoenix, San Antonio, Colorado, and Austin, all really tough teams. Colorado Springs featuring the goal-scoring leader for the entire USL. Now, how about the standings here in the Mountain?
I think the standings tell us a lot. These teams are tightly packed. You see the Toros and El Paso Locomotive there at the top 24 points each. Just behind them, Mexico United with 20 points. The difference between the Toros and Locomotive is just games played. Toros having played 2 more. Austin Bold just 5 points behind in 4th. San Antonio is there in 5th. Colorado Springs in 6th. So realistically, 2 wins separates you basically from 1st to 6th right now in the Mountain Division.
Yeah, and Austin, if they can come back and win this game tonight, could vault all the way into 3rd place and behind the Toros and Locomotive. So, yeah, tightly packed in that Mountain Division, and still a long way to go. And the season goes all the way to the end of October. So we'll see a lot of movement in those division standings and in the playoff standings as well. So pretty exciting things developing here in the Mountain Division of the USL. Let's go ahead and take a break. We'll be back with some highlights of the first half and some stats for you when we come back. This is USL Championship Soccer on ESPN+.
When we said Reliant offers free flex days, we had something a little different in mind. Get the flexibility of free electricity on your 2 highest use days every week with the Reliant Truly Free Flex Days plan. That's up to 8 free days a month. So go on. What are you waiting for? We'll even upgrade your plan to solar. On us. Reliant. That's power. Your way.
DHR Health is now safer than ever and continues to remain focused on one thing: providing exceptional care to our patients and community. No other hospital is trying harder to keep you safe. We're taking every action to ensure your safety with enhanced precautions, including 3 off-site COVID-19 units. Your health should never wait. Don't delay your health care. There is no reason to. Schedule your appointment today. DHR Health. For you, for life.
Why choose Lone Star National Bank for your business? Because no other bank does more to support local businesses. In fact, we are the #1 lender in the Valley to small businesses. We put money to work here in our community.
That helps our local businesses grow, creating more jobs.
And more opportunities for all of us.
Working together. Together.
We do what the little banks can't and the big banks won't. Lone Star National Bank, the Valley's bank.
Today at Whataburger, we're cooking the Buffalo Ranch chicken strip sandwich. We got 3 chicken strips topped with Whataburger's own buffalo sauce, a little bit of buttermilk ranch, 2 slices of Monterey Jack cheese. The combination is just right.
It's crunchy and then it's spicy and then it's cool. Your mouth is exploding with flavor.
It just all works together, and then you add the cheese in there.
It kind of wakes me up, honestly. My goodness. I could see myself eating this every time I come here.
They're gonna go crazy for this thing. The Buffalo Ranch chicken strip sandwich. That's back, and it's only for a limited time.
And we're back. Brian, take us through the first half here.
And here's that opening goal for the Toros. Look at this. Rodrigo Lopez on the money. And Juan David Cabeza says, give me that goal. Another look at that angle here. Lopez places that in a perfect spot. The Toros strike early for the 1-0 lead. The angle on that, nothing short of spectacular. Coming back the other way, Austin Bold had a couple of really good opportunities. There is a nice header set up very nicely by that pass from Doof, but they could not finish. And then a point-blank look for Baez. Just cannot finish. Tyler Derrick coming up big. Here's a good look for Rodrigo Lopez as he tries to find the angle there. Has his legs cut out from under by Taylor. Taylor, full extension there defensively to keep this one at just 1-0.
And looking at our stats, you can see that's also pretty close, just like the game.
I think what really stands out is the shots you're seeing here. Austin Bold had 6 shots, 3 of which were on target there in the first half. The Toros only had 1, and that was the one they put into the back of the net. Time possession also favors the Bold, which is an interesting little development there. The Toros, one of those teams that are known to be more of kind of a possession set team, but they actually allowed the Bold to possess it more than them. And a pretty clean first half, only one yellow card issued. So despite the aggression you've seen out there on the pitch and how hard these two teams are playing, they've played pretty clean.
Yeah, good technique by both teams. And, yeah, that is surprising that the Bold end up on the plus side in terms of possession. Also, I'm impressed by Austin's shots on target. Rio Grande Valley came in allowing only 3 shots on target or less in 11 of their last 12 matches. They have just been an iron door on other teams, but 3 shots on target in that first half there for Austin. That's pretty impressive to me.
Perhaps a tip of the hat there to Coach Serrano. Third time he's seen these Toros, and he's beginning to make those adjustments, bend his team to his will. And you're starting to see some really good looks from the Bold.
Yeah, and that's hard to do too. When you come out on the winning side, your temptation is to not tinker with it. It says, well, I've got a winning formula here. I'm going to leave it as is. And it's always the losing side that is looking for solutions and is willing to tinker with different lineups and movement around the pitch to see if they can find a breakthrough. But yeah, credit to Serrano for Austin Bold. They had the 2-1 win earlier this year here at HEB Park. That was on the road, and then they also had the draw back in Austin. They took the lead in that one. The Asokara was able to score in that one to tie it up, and it ended at 1-1. This one right now is 1-0 in favor of Rio Grande Valley, and just about ready for the second half kickoff here in just a moment. And, you were talking about the USL Team of the Week and Juan Carlos Azucar making that one. Also making it on the all-bench team for the USL Team of the Week was the goalkeeper, Tyler Derrick.
Tyler Derrick, and he's had himself a spectacular start to the season. We've talked about it all year long. I think if you look anywhere toward what makes this Toros team so good defensively, it's what Tyler Derrick is able to do in goal as the field general. But also, there's a bench player named to this team for the Austin Bold as well, Juan Pablo Torres, who's really starting to kind of come on as that forward-stretching midfielder for the Austin Bold. He found himself also on the bench team.
Yeah, and Juan Pablo Torres, he'll be 22 on Monday, so we'll wish him an early happy birthday. And yeah, I scored that goal. That proved to be the game winner, a 1-0 win against Real Monarchs last Saturday for Austin Bold, and that's kept their unbeaten streak alive. Now at 4 games, which is the longest they've had this season. Rio Grande Valley unbeaten in 3 straight. This is the 3rd time this season they've been able to produce a 3-game unbeaten streak. And the previous 2 times they would lose in that 4th game, but right now they're on the winning side here at halftime as we get ready for the second half, and we can see Paneco in the blue jersey there warming up on the right side, and came in with a league-leading 6 clean sheets, but had that wiped away just 10 minutes into this game here tonight. But it hasn't really had to make a tough save yet, has he? I mean, the defense has kind of risen to the occasion for it.
Yeah, other than that one small kind of hiccup in the 9th minute where they allowed Juan David Cabezas to slip forward on that really beautiful corner coming from Rodrigo Lopez. The rest of the time, the Bold have done a really nice job of staying in front of the Toros and not giving them good looks at net. On the flip side, I think the Austin Bold have had more than adequate opportunities to score. Tyler Derrick has been in a really good spot a couple times to put, in one case, a fist, another case, a leg on it to push that wide. So if you're the Austin Bold, I don't think you tinker with your offense very much. You got what you wanted. Now you've just got to try to finish at the net.
Yeah, they started with that 3-4-3, 3 forwards, and they have been able to generate chances. We saw 6 shots and 3 on goal. And it looks like we're going to get a substitution here to start the second half. John Henry Sanchez standing there ready to come in.
26-year-old out of Colorado. He's going to replace Vicente Sanchez. Sanchez got the start in this one, played all 49 minutes of the first half. He's earned himself a rest. The 41-year-old's going to get a rest, replaced by the 26-year-old. So Toros try to continue to build some offense and see if they can either get themselves a bit of an insurance goal here, or at least keep the Bold away from that attacking side that led to so many good looks in the first half.
Yeah, John Henry Sanchez out of Tumaco, Colombia, 5'7", 132 pounds, has a lot of speed in that midfield. And we'll see what he can do. Yeah, Vicente Sanchez, we didn't see a lot from him till I guess right at the end of the first half. He was able to create that chance for Rodrigo Lopez. But otherwise, Austin doing a pretty good job on him. And now we're starting the second half. Toros kicking it off. Half number 2 underway here at HEB Park in Edinburgh, Texas. About 300 miles, 6-hour drive due south from the state capital of Austin. Austin Bold in their 3rd year of existence. And Rio Grande Valley in their 6th year. So both relative newcomers to the USL. And both have had success in their short existence. Toros controlling it right now is Vetta. And Adrian Vetta out of Norwalk, California, sends it back. And then a hard kick forward by Pimentel. The Bold with control. They'll get it to Toros. Nice little one touch to the side there. And it's sent forward by Okugo. And 2 players go down in a heap. And this is going to be a free kick for the Toros.
Like Pimentel had his legs kind of cut out from under him as he tried to turn the corner there. Worth mentioning, in their 3 years of existence, Sano has been the only head coach the Austin Bold have ever had. On the other bench for the Toros, the 2 head coaches they've had in their history are still on this squad. Of course, Wilmer Cabrera, the head coach in their inaugural season, he was, shouldn't say replaced, but he was followed by Gershon Echeverry, who was a head coach for 4 seasons here in Edinburgh. He's an assistant coach on this squad still. So every head coach these 2 teams have ever had are currently here in the park tonight.
And we saw Juan Hussein right there off the feet from Lopez with a shot that was well wide of the net, but kind of knocking on the door here early on here in the second half. Echo taking no chances, went to full stretch on that one. By the way, fouls in the first half, you had 4 on each team. We talked about a pretty clean first half. Headed forward by Albuquerque. Headed back by the Bold. Gaining control there is Pino. Goes all the way back. Now work it to Garcia, the right center back. And now to Taylor. Taylor most recently with Minnesota United last year in the MLS. Taylor finds Hines over on the far sideline. Former Akron Zip. Oh, there's a misplayed ball, and it's stolen by Doof. He'll send it forward, and Pino, just misses. Pino tried to place it to that far side as Derek came out. Just a slow roller that just missed the left post.
Another look. Doof put a really nice pass on that, and I think give some credit to Adrian Vetta coming up from the backside as he applies just enough pressure to prevent Pino from really kind of dialing back with that left leg and really putting a good strong kick on it. Instead, it just kind of lazily trickles just wide of the net. Another really good opportunity squandered for the Austin Bold.
Yeah, Derek a little bit lucky there. Came out, may have upset the timing a little bit, but was not able to get a touch on that ball. Well, Austin Bold in control here early in the second half. Went down a goal early, looking for that equalizer. A nice little touch there by Pino. He gets to Gordon. He makes a couple of good moves here, trying to create a shot, and Cabezas knocks it away from him, and Pimentel clears it up the field, or rather Vetta clears it up the field. Now Austin Bold back on the move again. Oh, good one touch there, goes to Gordon. That was a feed from Okoli. And Gordon unable to get the turn. Okugo sends it in, but Cabezas blocks it. And now it's sent forward by the Toros. Also Carter draws the foul. Bold doesn't like that ball.
Fabian Garcia thought he was to the ball first.
Oh, is this a red card?
We're going to get a red card. Juan Torres, who picked up a yellow in the first half, campaigns a little too much for his teammate after that. Referee says that's enough.
Yeah, he wasn't the one that committed the foul, but started arguing and is going to be sent off for dissent. Yeah, that's Fabian Garcia who commits the foul.
Torres can't believe it, and you see it there. He protests a little too much because of that. Draws that second yellow, which becomes a red.
Is it that Shakespeare line, thou protest too much? And it's happened to Toros. So Juan Pablo Toros, who was their goal scorer last week, now picks up his second yellow and is out of the game.
Oh, and that's what it is right there. You see Torres boots that one out. He's protesting. In the process, he kicks that one into the stands. Jermaine Taylor trying to make the claim here that perhaps wasn't deserving of the card. Referee shakes his head and says, no, you can't do that. You can't just kick the ball out of play out of frustration. And that is a major blow to the Austin Bold. They're going to have to play a man down now for the rest of the second half.
Yeah, 40 minutes to go. And they'll be playing 11v10 the rest of the way. And the Bold down a man and down a goal. A tough turn of events for Austin here, early second half. And Torres, young, he's 21 years old. We mentioned he has a birthday in a couple of days. But sometimes, when you're young, you lose control, you lose your self-regulation a little bit at the wrong time. There's Carter Manley, the right side, working against Okoli. Now gets into Guzane. They'll feed it to Sanchez. Henry Sanchez sends it back. Lopez sends it into the area, headed up by Garcia. Aneco comes out and will claim it. So second big defensive play we've seen by Garcia in this game. And Lopez with another dangerous cross into the area.
And I like what you're seeing here from Paneco. Slows it down once he gets that ball in his mitts, sends everybody forward. Allow some cooler heads to prevail here for a moment. It's been a pretty intense couple of minutes here to open the second half. And going back to that exchange between the Bold and the referee here, I want to give a lot of credit to Jermaine Taylor. He came out, showed some of that veteran experience, settled down, put his hands behind his back, has a peaceful conversation with the referee, told a couple of his teammates, it's okay, I've got this. It's a great way to handle when tensions are kind of rising there. Allow those cooler heads to prevail.
And we've got a Toros player down now. This is Azocar. And has his hand around his head as he's being looked at by the trainer here.
Wilmer Cabrera not happy.
Azocar came in on a 3-game scoring streak, including goals in his last 2 games, both on the road. One was a draw at Austin, the other was a win at Orange County. You see 2 men going up to try to head the ball. It was Garcia and Azocar.
Didn't really see what happened there. The way Azocar goes down, it seemed as if he was maybe caught an elbow or maybe a forearm to the side of his head. That angle didn't really show us where the contact came from. Coach Cabrera probably had a better look at it than we do. He was immediately on his feet as those 2 went up.
Could also be a shoulder. Let's see. Well, Fabian has a arm extended, and that may have been what Azocar came in contact with.
Yeah, it looks like he may have caught that kind of lower forearm right at the elbow. Kind of caught that right on his head as they go up.
Well, Azocar will come over to the sideline, be looked at for a bit, and so the teams will be 10v10 for the moment. Meanwhile, the ball was put back in play. There was no foul called there as it happened behind the official's view. So they did a drop ball, and the Toros conceding the possession back to Austin Bold. But Now maybe he will call a free kick here. So he is going to call the foul, I guess after a conversation with his assistant referee who may have seen something. So Toros with possession at the moment. Got Austin Bold quickly generating a turnover. And now another whistle is called.
I think we're getting a card. Yeah, card coming out.
I believe, is that Cabezas?
I believe so. Cabezas was in the middle of that one.
Cabezas came in with 3 yellow cards. He's been in some in the mix of some of the physical encounters several times before.
The United Soccer League, all 31 championship clubs and its players stand together in support of diversity, inclusivity, equality, and compassion. For more information on the USL's commitment to change through United Against Racism campaign, visit uslsoccer.com.
The ball back in action here. Austin Bold with it. By the way, the Toros have Asokar back on the pitch. They do have 11 on their side now, playing against 10-man Austin. Some pressure here by the Toros. Being a man up, they can afford to be a little more aggressive. And Paneco will send it deep to the left side. Pimentel will play it forward for the Toros. Chipped ahead by Sorto. The offside flag is gone out.
Zokar broke just a little too quickly. So as Sorto tried to touch that one back left to him, he was about a half a step ahead of that back line.
Zokar from Venezuela, just 25 years old. 5'9", 160 pounds. He has a terrific finishing touch, as we've seen recently. In fact, his first goal this season came on the road at San Antonio. That was a game equalizer, but it's a candidate for goal of the year.
And bicycle kick with the clock winding down. No higher pressure situation than that, and somehow he was able to finish it. I remember that week we spoke with Coach Cabrera and asked him, was he surprised to see that? And he said, that's just what Ozokar does. In practice, that's what he does. He goes out there and puts these spectacular bicycle kicks down.
Probably need some gym mats or something to prevent yourself from getting all bruised up. Practice those. But he does practice them. And we saw another game where he almost connected on a different one. Here it is to Pino in the area, closely marked by Pimentel. Pino goes down, and there's going to be a free kick call. This is going to be a push against Pimentel. And a free kick in a promising position here for Austin.
Get another look right here.
Yeah, you see a clear push there by Pimentel.
And Pimentel says, I didn't push him that hard. Referee says no.
Has to be a hard push.
A push is a push is a push.
It looks like Fabian Garcia will take this free kick. Now, we saw him score on a free kick that was in the middle outside the area. It proved to be a game winner back in June. Well, we know he is deadly with the free kick. Here it comes. Clipped by the wall, goes all the way through the area. And it's going to end up as a throw-in here for the Bold. I was a little bit surprised by that. I would have thought Garcia would have tried to put that on frame. It looked like he was lining up for that sort of kick. Gordon will throw it in for Austin. Headed back by Pimentel. And Gordon now with the cross. Derek stays on his line. It's headed. Trying to turn there. Okugo wasn't able to get the kick. Now Gordon wins the ball. Gordon trying to send it inside. It takes a couple of crazy bounces before Pimentel is able to clear it. Now Cabezas sends it way deep into the Austin end. They'll have to play it all the way back to Paneco in goal. It was Okoli who almost got an opportunity there to score for Austin Bold there a moment ago as well, along with Gordon. Got the foul here at midfield. It's Cabezas who went down, and a free kick here for the Toros. Seven fouls on Austin Bold, 4 on the Toros in this game. And Lopez here with it. Now to Kuzain. Kuzain with some space to work with. Conservatively play it back, and Albuquerque will fire it over to Manley. Manley decides not to push against Pino. Now Cabezas with it. Cabezas looked right, fired it left, and squeezes into the box ahead of Azocar, and Paneco able to pick it up.
Juan Kuzain kind of peeks over at the referee. I think he thought he had drawn a foul there as he got kind of spun around a little bit as he was trying to plant his feet in front of that ball. The referee says play on.
Paneco wears that protective padded cap. First made famous about 15 years ago when the Chelsea keeper, Peter Cech, started wearing one after a head injury. They're still not all that common. Javier Baez out of Reynosa had a really good look at the net in the first half, trying to play that with his teammate Okugo. Okugo to throw it in. It's headed by Cabezas, and Okugo sends it back inside. Pino. Looks like there was offside there as they played it to Pino. That'll be the first offside against Austin.
And it looked like Pino kind of knew he was offside. He took one step and he planted that right foot and tried to push back in as that one was kind of floated over to him. Just was not quite able to get back on side quick enough. Can't fault the Austin Bold though, doing a really nice job of being aggressive there. And if they'd been able to place that one a little bit further inside toward the middle, they might have been able to get it to Pino onside.
There's a 4v4. Manley sends this into the box. Osokata trying to turn. Has 2 markers on him. He'll play it outside to Sanchez. And now Sanchez will work it to Cabezas. Quickly they reverse it. And Veta has it on the left side. Sorto comes out to help. He'll touch it to Cabezas. Cabezas tightly marked by Baez. And now the ball bounces over to Albuquerque. Kuzain, he'll let it go from distance, and it's over the bar. Kuzain with a couple of shots here in this second half. He's had a couple of half looks, I guess, half chances you'd say, that he's given him a go from outside.
When you see that shot from Kuzain, you may say, well, you're up 1-0. Why are you taking a shot from that long? But we've seen this season twice already. The Juan Kuzain has got some really good range when striking from deep. So that's well within his range to strike from. And if he can get that off of his toe rather than floating it a little bit, that is a shot he can put in the back of the net.
Out and a throw in for the Toros. I'm a little surprised we haven't seen a sub yet from Austin already in the 65th minute here. Playing with 10.
Maybe the coach Serrano is trying to decide what kind of substitution he can make now, playing down 1. You kind of alter the way you want to build your attack, especially if you were thinking about bringing another forward in, perhaps, and now you're second guessing whether you want to bring in that 4th forward. Because now what do you give up? You give up another midfielder, and that kind of squanders your ability to possess and move forward. Then right on cue, here's a substitution coming in for the Bold. Coming in is going to be Emilio Yacaza. He's going to be replacing number 9, Sean Okoli. So Coley plays just shy of 70 minutes in this one. Yakaza will now be that forward, trying to respark this attack for the Austin Bold, down 1-0.
Yeah, we saw Yakaza in the game in June. Did a pretty good job in the midfield, creating some opportunities out of St. Petersburg, Florida, just 24 years old. And Okoli's had a pretty good game. There's some fresh legs out there now for Austin Bold. Each team has made one sub now.
And what Yakaza brings that Okoli didn't have is some speed, as he's going to give up about 6 inches and more than 30 pounds. So Bold bringing a little bit more speed in, getting rid of one of those kind of bigger, aggressive bodies they had and bringing in some with a little bit more speed. That'll allow them to perhaps push the ball just a little bit better.
Kuzane goes down, play continues, Austin Bold on the attack. Now Gordon goes down, and this is just outside the area. This will be a yellow card on the Toros. That's going to be on Lopez.
Lopez picks up that card because of where the foul comes. It comes right there in the box. And you're just about always going to draw a card if you pick up a foul like that in the box. And Lopez tries to make the argument that it's not really anything I did. I didn't push him down. Our feet got tangled up, and that's why he just kind of looks and says, what did I do? The referee says, well, I mean, you fouled him right there in the box.
Yeah, just barely outside of it. You can see, yeah, just probably only a foot outside of the 18-yard box. Now, look at this. The Toros, they not only have a wall set up, but they have a man lying down on the turf so that when the wall jumps, and if Fabian Garcia tries to keep it along the ground, they've got Veta there lying down who can still block it. I saw, I think, some of the teams in the Copa America just recently using that tactic against the Brazilians.
And it's an interesting move to make because you're playing one man up, so you've got one man you can kind of sacrifice in these situations to stay down and protect that low kick.
And there's the kick. It goes into the wall by Garcia. Bounces outside. Austin still with possession here. They'll send it to the left. Gordon with it. And he'll touch it to Yakaza. Yakaza with a shot, and it's going to be wide. That may have gone off a Toro player, and this is going to be a corner kick. So Yakaza, who just came onto the pitch, already making some noise here.
Great job by Yakaza. He kind of slips in between those two defenders, finds himself in a good spot, gets it with that big right foot. However, kind of catches a little more off the side than off of the toe, and because of that, it nips left of the net.
6 corner kick. Baez with the in-swinger. Keeper comes out, gets a soft punch. Not quite what he intended. Veta is able to clear it for the Toros. Toros dodging a bit of a bullet there as Derek came out, didn't quite get the full connection with the ball. And it stayed in the danger zone. See Paneco on the far side of the field.
The USL is committed to supporting the LGBTQ+ community through the Forever Proud project. The USL will strive to create safe and welcoming environments for all fans, players, employees, and partners. Learn more at uslsoccer.com/forever-proud.
Austin with the throw in. They'll play it back to their keeper. They'll try to reverse things to the left side of the pitch and work their way forward. So Austin, despite being down a man here in the last 19 minutes or so, has been able to still generate a little bit of offense. And now we're going to see the Toros making a sub here.
Coming in, Kyle Edwards. He's going to replace Christian Sorto. Also substitution for the Toros coming in will be number 24, Alexis Cerritos. He's going to replace Carter Manley. So both of those kind of opposite pin forwards for the Toros are going to take a seat, and they'll be replaced by the very talented Edwards and Cerritos.
Yeah, Sorto, an attacking midfielder, and Manley kind of an attacking defender, really. And this the first home appearance for Edwards. He's missed most of the season. He's been overseas. And what's the story about him? He has a local connection, though.
Hey, he played his college soccer right here in Edinburgh for the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley. And right as he was ending his collegiate career, he was picked up by the national team for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And he's kind of bounced back and forth between them and the Toros over the last 2 seasons.
And there's a steal by the Toros here. Opportunity for them as they center the ball. Baez is able to kick it free for the defense. And the ball sent downfield. The Toros regain possession.
Of course, Edwards, fan favorite here in Edinburgh and across the Rio Grande Valley, closed last season with the Toros scoring goals in each of his last 3 games before taking some time international play with St. Vincent and the Grenadines. That kind of slowed the start of his season this season with the Toros as well, as he's been picking up caps left and right as they try to get a bid into Copa America. They've been back and forth through qualifying tournaments there, and they've continued to give him caps. So he spent some time with them to start this season, but he's back with the Toros now and hoping to make a big impact.
Gordon plays it to Doof, who maintains his feet. Doof pass to the right side. Okugo will send it into the box, and it's kicked out of play. And Pimentel will concede a corner there for the Toros. Eric comes over to thank him for his efforts there. This will be the 7th corner here for Austin Bowl.
Quick substitution coming in for the Bowl before that happens. Incoming is number 88, Kofi Sarkodie.
He's a defender out of Huber Heights, Ohio. That's interesting. That's, according to the roster, Kofi is his first name, but that's the name he has on the back of his kit there. Anyway, Baez will take the corner here for Austin, still looking for the equalizer, sends it in, headed out by the Toros. Yakaza almost got it, but it was kicked away from him, and now here's an attack for the Toros. Player just came onto the pitch, Cerritos. He'll send it forward. Here's John Henry Sanchez at the edge of the area. Sanchez working his way forward against 2 defenders, trying to create a shot. Big tackle there by Baez, ball still loose, and now there's a whistle right on the edge of the area. I think the Toros will have a free kick in a very dangerous position here.
Looks like Garcia and Rodrigo Lopez got kind of tied up there. Look at the great job driving here by Cerritos. Nice pass to find Sanchez streaking up that far side. He brings it back to center. Good job by the Bold of kind of collapsing those kits right onto Sanchez. Rodrigo Lopez comes in to try to push it. His legs get tied up there with Garcia. That's where the foul comes from. So now the Toros and Lopez are going to get a point-blank spot, maybe about 4 or 5 feet outside of the box.
Yeah, outside the 6-yard box. Yeah, that's going to be way back there, and they're going to put, like, it looks like 5 in their wall. And they go on the right side of that wall. And this will be from about 22 yards out. Asokad and Lopez, both dangerous shooters, standing over the ball at the moment.
The Bold have a player laying down to protect that lower shot as well, as Doof right at the feet of his teammates.
And here we go. Lopez will shoot it on net, and it looks like a save made by Paneco. May have gotten a glove on it. And it's going to be a corner kick. Yeah, they are going to rule it. Paneco got a touch on that as Lopez. A sensational strike there. And a great save there by Paneco.
And to reward him for that great strike, Lopez gets to jog over to the true fit corner. He's got Cerritos playing a little bit shallow in front of him.
And Lopez to take the corner. Very dangerous on set pieces. An in-swinger, a header in front. Off the post, it's still playing. Cabeza's trying to get a turn now to Asokad on the right side. Get it to, looks like Cerritos, or actually Edwards. Edwards fell down, and play continued. Now a Bold player has gone down and appears to be hurt. And the ball has gone out of play, and we'll see the player is going to, Omar Gordon. Looks like he'll be able to continue. We'll take another look at that, a collision with Pimentel. Hard ball there by Gordon. They did call the whistle on the Toros. Number 6 on them. So Austin Bold on the attack now. In the last 15 minutes before full time, Toros up 1-0 off a 9th-minute goal by Cabezas. Austin Bold playing a man down since the 50th minute, when Juan Pablo Toros suffered his second yellow, was sent off the field. Lopez sends this to the left side, controlled by Veta. One-on-one against Dufir. He's going to send it toward the middle to Cerritos. Cerritos and Edwards both coming on indicates the Toros want to be aggressive in their offense here. The last 15 minutes. Cabezas, the goal scorer, to the left side. Now Veta with it, with room to work with. Inside to Cabezas. Cabezas has plenty of room, gives it a bit of a go, but it's blocked in front by the Austin defense. Headed forward, and now we've got a free kick awarded to Austin Bold.
A couple of bodies flying around there trying to get headers on that one. The referee will say, let's slow that down just a minute.
The Toros might be thinking the best defense here in the last 15 is more offense with those last 2 subs that they made. Ball played to Lopez. And Cabezas to Veta on the left side. There's plenty of space. John Henry Sanchez has come over to the left. Tries to go inside, has his jersey grabbed. Now the referee sees that, and he's going to award the Toros a free kick here.
See, Sanchez comes by. That's more than a tug. That's a fistful. Substitution now coming in for the Bold.
It's going to be Casey Walls. And looks like 2 substitutions here. Number 3, Colin Fernandez also coming in. Fernandez a defender, Walls also a defender.
So Fernandez is going to replace Pino.
And Walls on loan from the San Jose Earthquakes. Fernandez's club last year was in the USL at the Tacoma Defiance up in Washington State. Here's Lopez, sends it into play. It's headed up, nearly out of the area. Toros trying to regain control here. And Veta gains control. Pass over to Cerritos. Cerritos will fire to the right side. Manley there on that one, and he's upended. And they're going to be, looks like they're going to be a booking here. And that'll be Baez who goes into the book. And Manley is down for the 2nd time today.
Seems like every time Carter Manley makes contact with someone, it's not going to be gentle. You see it here as they bump knees. I'm feeling that for him. Colliding knees hurts in a way that's, well, difficult to describe if you haven't done it.
Oh, yes.
And Manley's going to need a
when
second.
you collide kneecaps.
Not a lot of padding when you go kneecap to kneecap.
Yeah, Manley was shaken up with a head injury in the first half. Came off the field for a bit, was able to stay in the game. And now you can see walking off this contusion to his knee. It looks like Asokata will take the free kick. It's about 30 yards from goal. Be a 3-man wall in front of him. There's Asokata. He's going to shoot it at the net, and it's just wide. Well, that was a good go there by Asokata, who came in with goals in each of his last 2 games. Still looking for that to make it 3 in a row here tonight. This was didn't miss by much, did he?
He bended it beautifully, and evidenced by the extent that Panico had to really kind of Superman himself out there just to make sure he was in the place to punch that away if it bent.
Now that gives you an indication of how close it is when the keeper can't read it to see if it's going to be out or not and takes no chances and dives. You know it's close. The Toros have had about 4 good shots in this second half, but have yet to put one on net. Now a free kick here. Austin running out of time to try to get that equalizer. Despite going down to 10 men back about 30 minutes ago, they've still been able to generate some opportunities like this one here. They'll send this one to the top of the area, headed out by Veta. And then Sanchez tried to send it upfield, but it'll go out of play. It'll be an Austin throw-in. So Sarkodie with the throw-in. Sarkodie, who's out of Ohio, 30 years old. Back to Garcia, and now to go back to the center back, Taylor. Taylor fired that one through, but I suspect that his teammate, Kofi, was off in an offside position. Sarkodie did not go play it. Oh, beautiful shot of the moon there. A full moon here tonight. See a nice view of the Sea of Tranquility. Apparently not tranquil there on the pitch here tonight.
Plenty of aggressive play on both sides. I think both teams have kind of executed the game plan to a T thus far. The difference has been Toros got a really good look in the 9th minute, and they were able to finish. Bold have had a couple really good opportunities. They've just yet to be able to put one past Tyler Derrick. He's looking for his 5th clean sheet of the season, and he's about 10 minutes away from being able to collect that if his defense will hold.
That would put him just one behind the league leader, who's on the opposite end of the pitch from him, Paneco. Although I believe Paneco actually tied for first, isn't he?
He is currently tied for first, 6 clean sheets, which just shows the level of quality keepers in the USL right now.
They're racing ahead as Fernandez, his second half sub. Gets it to Yakaza. Fernandez again, trying to get around through the defense, but the Toros put too many people there, and Sanchez able to clear it forward. So Sanchez again with control, trying to find some space, and he does. The fire to the right side to Asokar. Asokar trying to work his magic. Baez able to tap it away from him, and then it's cleared upfield by Walls. There goes down for Austin, but play continues. It's Lopez. Lopez, who has just been sensational tonight with the placement of his kicks. Square it for Cabezas. And return to Lopez. Lopez will try the right side now with Manley over there with space to work with. In the 83rd minute here. Toros up 1-0. Cabezas to the left. And Veta here with it, space to work with. Toros content to run some time off the clock here. There's a nice touch forward, trying to get it to Cabezas. Edwards and Cabezas with a good little give and go, but Paneco anticipated that and able to come forward and pick it up.
And now it's kind of the period of desperation if you're the Austin Bold. You're going to see here Paneco's got to get his team moving forward. The clock is not their friend. They cannot allow this clock to continue to tick without good opportunities.
Stoof will get it to Gordon. Gordon will roll it to Yakaza. Yakaza finds Sarkodie. Sarkodie returns it to Fernandez. Fernandez from Illinois. And finds it over to Taylor. Taylor will snap it to his teammate. Baez plays it to Doof. Now you see the back line of Austin Bold coming forward into the attacking half of the field. And to get more numbers forward. Fernandez content to play that back. Edwards was close to it. I don't think Fernandez saw Edwards there lurking in that neighborhood. Garcia trying to send it forward. Gets to Yakaza. Play continues here. Yakaza is going to send it into the area, and a shot on goal, and it's tied up. Wow! A magnificent one-touch effort by Austin Bold. and they have tied this game 1-1. And the keeper, Derek, picking up a yellow card here in the 85th minute.
And Derek came racing out of net, and he was very upset. So you see this strike, and it's actually a really good strike. But Derek had his eyes kind of downfield. There was a Toros player down. I think Derek was making the argument that play should have been stopped with the injured player.
Yeah, that might be what he's immediately arguing there.
But Baez, give him some credit, playing through. Everything else was going out there on the pitch. Finds that ball dropped out of his feet, and he drives it right past Tyler Derrick.
Yakaza with a terrific assist. That was helped a little bit as it was a Toro defender got a piece of that. I think that was Cabezas. And it just happened to play perfectly there for Baez. And Baez able to get the perfect one touch on the net over the shoulder of Derek, and we are tied at 1. That came kind of against the run of play. So Toros seem to be in control here. And as we mentioned, the Bold going down to 10 men back in the 50th minute when Juan Pablo Torres was sent off. And despite that, the Bold able to manufacture a goal here, and they have their equalizer, but they still have to hold on. Still a few minutes left. And we've seen the Toros in this position before this season produce heroic goals. I think at least 3 times they have scored after the 85th minute. So Lopez will send it to Azocar. Azocar from Venezuela. Returns it to Lopez from Guadalajara, Mexico. Forward to Manley. He'll send it into the area. Knocked down by Yakaza. And then Doof will send it forward. Played by Albuquerque. Now the Toros into the area, headed by the defense. And this will be a corner kick for the Toros here. And what's going to be the 88th minute.
This could be a really good spot for the Toros. Just see Rodrigo Lopez racing over to that true fit corner.
And this will be corner kick number 3 for the Toros in this game. And Lopez over there to take the corner. Going to be an in-swinger toward the net. Paneco is there and able to grab it. Edwards was all set up, ready to redirect that on net.
That's a great job by Paneco. Edwards is a big body, and Rodrigo Lopez, we've talked about it all game, does a really nice job with those corners of placing them, and Paneco comes out and puts some mitts on that before Kyle Edwards has a chance to even challenge.
Yeah, Edwards stands 6'1", Paneco 6'5". Nice height for a keeper. Toros win the ball here again. They send it forward for Edwards, and Edwards will propel it forward, but it's a little too far, and Toros can't catch up to it. That was Azocar who's trying to get to it. It'll be a goal kick here, and now we're going to see a late substitution here by the Toros. I think Cabezas is going to come out, and coming in will be James Murphy. So Cabezas, the goal scorer. Another sub here. They're allowed 5. And we're going to see Edwin Guerrero from San Cristobal, Venezuela, just 24 years old, a defender coming onto the field. James Murphy from Scotch Plains, New Jersey, 23-year-old midfielder, going to be out there. Guerrero making just his second appearance with the Toros. And James Murphy has played 11 games last year with the Toros and has this is his 10th appearance with the Toros this season. He's played in quite a few games, has 3 shots, and leads the team with 3 assists. And going to the last minute before stoppage. And the Toros have won themselves a corner kick here. John Henry Sanchez over there able to deflect the ball off Baez. And it looks like Murphy's going to be the one to take the corner. First one that Lopez hasn't taken. It goes into Lopez. Oh, Lopez with a nice move, buy himself some time, sends it into the area, and a close header's going to go just over the bar as Manley was there, able to get the touch on it. Paneco unable to react in time, but it goes too high.
And a great pass there by Lopez, and Carter Manley Knows the moment that touches his head that he got a little too far under it. You want to try to catch that ball either off the side or off the front part of your forehead. If you let it get it off the top of your head, you're going to drive it high and wide. Manley knew it immediately. He didn't get it where he wanted it, where he could drive it. Instead, he floats it. A missed opportunity.
Here's the kick by Paneco as we've entered stoppage time. They're going to add 5 minutes. So 5 minutes. A chance for someone to grab the win here. Austin has emerged victorious 3 of the last 4 meetings here at HEB Park. That ball sent into the area. It's headed out by Jermaine Taylor. Austin with control. Mind you, Austin still playing a man down here as they will chip this forward and plenty of space to work with here for Gordon. Gordon will wait for reinforcements. Fernandez will tap it. His teammate Baez. Baez, who has the game-tying goal right now. Then Fernandez sends it forward, but Gordon was not chasing after it, and this is going to be a goal kick here to the Toros.
And Derek gets that back in very quickly. The Toros remaining extremely aggressive here. They want to pick up a win. Getting a draw here gives them a point, but they're looking for 3, not just 1, because they're trying to stay at the top here of the Mountain Division.
John Henry Sanchez with it. Over to Edwards. Edwards in just his 2nd game as a Toro this season. Came on as a late sub last week in the win over Orange County. Edwards trying to work something on the right side. Nice little reverse move. Buys himself some space. Slides it over. Murphy, a shot at the net. And it's a save made by Paneco. Paneco in perfect position to save that one.
And he takes a deep breath. That was close. Paneco up to the challenge, however. Take another look here. As Murphy gets that one in, slides transition, and is able to kind of whip that around the defense, but Paneco read that perfectly, able just to pounce on it.
Now I think we've got a player down for Austin Bold. This might be cramps here, the way they're working on his leg. The trainer comes out for Austin.
It's like Atez Doof is the one that went down right in front of James Murphy as he took that big swinger. Doof gets back to his feet pretty quickly. They'll send him off. They'll have to start from the sideline.
We're halfway through stoppage time, but this will add to the stoppage time. What a terrific goal by Baez, and a great setup by Yakaza.
And a big
game-tying goal, yeah, about the 84th minute.
If you had any doubt about the kind of grit this Austin Bold team has, look no further than both of their performances here at HEB Park. Trailing the Toros in the 2nd half, been able to come back and get equalizers both times. They look for a 2nd win here, but to do so, they're going to have to get another goal.
And here's a cross into the middle. And it's headed out by Austin. And the Toros will regain control. Murphy tracks it down. Lopez. He'll roll it forward for Asokar. Asokar will fire it into the area and headed out by the defense. I think Edwards was trying to get a piece of that. They're going to call a foul on him. And it'll be Austin Bold's free kick.
Edwards just kind of drives his shoulder right into the back of Garcia. He tries to get himself in position to put a head on that.
You see Coach Cabrera from the sideline. And we look at Garcia, the French player. A couple of players from France on this team. One of their backup goalkeepers also from France. We're showing less than a minute of stoppage time left, but we did have that injury that might add another 30 to 60 seconds. And Paneco kicks this out, and the Toros will have possession here. We're tied at 1. Toros scored early in the first 10 minutes, and then the Austin Bold, despite being a man down, were able to get a terrific goal, an equalizer in the 85th minute. Toros looking for the win here. Sanchez into the area. Paneco comes out. Asokata was looking at that one, but Paneco got there first.
And you like Paneco being aggressive, coming out and getting that, and then taking it to the ground. So not allowing it to be perhaps knocked out of his hand inadvertently, put it into the net, just really collapsing down on it to ensure he has firm control.
Paneco sends that one out of play. The Toros will have it. They'll be on the attack once again. Past 5 minutes now. Likely only seconds remaining here as Manley works it forward. They'll go all the way to the left side. Nice job to control it there by Veta and keep it from going out. Or correction, that was Guerrero actually, and now Guerrero will send it into the penalty area where it's headed out by Austin. A nice little athletic move by Doof there. Toros once again with control. Knocked out by Doof. Toros throw it in. Only seconds left here. Veta trying to get to the ball. Bold sends it out of play. It'll be Toros throw in again. Referee looking at his watch. Here's Pimentel going to send it into the area. Headed out by the Bold. They'll come out to Lopez now. Lopez will step forward. He'll chip it to the left. Headed out by the Bold once again. Pimentel will give it a go from distance, and that's going to be wide. That may be the last kick. And I think it is. That is the last kick. And it is over, and it is a draw, 1-1, a hard-fought draw between these two teams, and always seems to be a lot of excitement when these two play. A 1-1, our final score. Both teams pick up a point and stay in the thick of things in the Mountain Division. And before we go to break, who's our man of the match here tonight?
We'll see him there, Juan David Cabezas. He got that goal in the 9th minute. They gave the Toros that confidence to pick up a victory. They end up with a draw here, but given the history between these two teams, you can't discount what an important goal that was for the Toros early in the first half to put them in the driver's seat. Though the Toros don't come away with 3 points, you can certainly say they came away with a couple of really strong performances, the biggest of those, Juan David Cabezas.
We've got some second half highlights and some stats for you when we come back on our post-game show. Stick around. We'll be back in a moment. This is USL Championship Soccer on ESPN+.
Why choose Lone Star National Bank for your business? Because no other bank does more to support local businesses. In fact, we are the #1 lender in the Valley to small businesses. We put money to work here in our community.
That helps our local businesses grow, creating more jobs
and more opportunities for all of us.
Working together. Together.
We do what the little banks can't and the big banks won't. Lone Star National Bank, the Valley's bank.
DHR Health is now safer than ever and continues to remain focused on one thing: providing exceptional care to our patients and community. No other hospital is trying harder to keep you safe. We're taking every action to ensure your safety with enhanced precautions, including 3 off-site COVID-19 units. Your health should never wait. Don't delay your health care. There is no reason to. Schedule your appointment today. DHR Health. For you, for life.
And we're back, and take us through the highlights here, Brian.
Here's that opening goal in the 9th minute. Rodrigo Lopez to Juan David Cabezas. Big goal for the Toros, puts them up 1-0. Another look at that angle there. Rodrigo Lopez could not have placed that much better. Cabezas could not have put it in. Second half, look at this. Yakaza, great job of dropping that right to the foot of Baez, and he powers that into the corner. One of the best kicks you're going to see. He kicks that kind of sideways. He's able to drive it right past Derek. You see Derek not happy because that pulled this one tied up at 0-0. James Murphy had a chance to try to get the winner there late, just not able to get that past Paneco. You see here Sanchez tries to drive that one forward. Paneco again comes up strong So time continues to tick away. And remember, the Austin Bold were playing down a man for most of the second half, down 10-11, able to get the equalizer, and then Paneco comes up huge to preserve the 1-1 draw.
Yeah, Paneco a lot busier in that second half. Cabezas with his first goal of the year, and Baez for Austin, his first goal of the year. As we see the full moon lurking up there above HEB Park. And how about a look at our final stats for tonight?
These two teams, we saw in the first half that those stats were kind of leveled across. Shots in favor of the Bold, but the scoring in favor of the Toros. You saw something a little different kind of break through here in the second half. The Toros got a lot of shots in the second half, but were not able to convert that much needed insurance goal. 10 shots for the Toros, 12 for the Bold. Shots on goal kind of leveled off there, 4-3. Possession flipped once again. You saw in the first half the Bold had possession by about 52%. It flipped the other way in the second half. The Toros overall having a slightly higher percentage at 51%. 2 offsides on each side, yellow cards, 3-2 in favor of the Toros. They pick up more cards than the Bold, but the big standout there was the red card that was issued to Torres that sent him off about 3 minutes into the second half. But the Austin Bold down a player were able to dig deep, show that grit, that determination, come away with this 1-1 draw.
Yep, so in 3 matches now, Austin Bold has come away with 5 points against the Toros this season, compared to just 2 points for the Toros in those head-to-head matchups. The two teams will play again at Bold Stadium on August the 17th. Next game for these two, a week from tonight, on July 31st, Austin returns home to Bold Stadium to take on San Antonio FC. The Toros will be on the road next week at Phoenix Rising, one of the top teams in the league. In fact, they were in the league finals last year. So that'll do it as we take a look at the schedule coming up. You see they're going to be at Phoenix and then at the Real Monarchs, a team they've beaten earlier this year. They've got San Antonio for the 3rd time on August 8th at HEB Park, and then on August 14th, Colorado Springs will be here in Edinburgh before they have that 4th match with the Austin Bold. So that'll do it here at HEB Park. A beautiful night for soccer. It ends 1-1 as the Toros have now 25 points, temporarily hold first place in the Mountain Division, although El Paso is still in action tonight against New Mexico. Austin Bold improves to 20 points. They'll stay in 4th place in the Mountain. Hope you enjoyed it. For Brian Smith and the rest of our USL broadcast crew, so long from HEB Park.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.